What's up, guys? It's your Super Players back at it again. It's your host, Tony G, bringing you another amazing deck profile from not only the legend himself, but Brian Samuel. What up, dude?
What up, man? What's going on?
We have Brian Samuel, 2019 national champion, and pretty much he's topped every event he's been playing thus far this season. And so one of the decks you played this event, which was the SSB Vegeta and SS Trunks Father-Son Onslaught. Why'd you pick this deck, dude, for the San Diego event?
It's a deck that I've been playing pretty much since it came out. I feel it's the strongest yellow leader in the game so far. I just think it has really good matchups across the board. So I just I know it's for sure a BO3 deck. I didn't do so well with it at the Texas Fest with it. Being a BO1 format. So I think it just has a lot of tools, and it's just very good in the current meta.
Cool. All right. Awesome. I know you like playing yellow, and so let's go run through the deck. I guess we'll start off with the extra cards like Frieza Armor Reinforcements, Vegeta's Final Flash, and Forbidden Power, something that I noticed that you added to this deck that I didn't see you use last time in Mecha Frieza or whatever other yellow deck that was out.
Yeah, no, the extra cards. I've just been going over, with the team and everything on the ratios, but the 3 Final Flash, 2 Army Reinforcements, 2 Forbidden Power, 2 Realm of Gods, Power of a Super Saiyan, obviously limited to 1. That seems to be doing pretty well for me. The Realm of Gods was actually I was kind of on the fence about. It is a good card. It's very situational. It's usually for when you're going second, to be honest. Forbidden Power is just with all the KP decks that are out, Gogeta Xeno, things like that. It's just another way to kind of floodgate and can just get to that next turn, so you can try to get them back on the clapback.
Cool. All right.
And the other extra cards are pretty self-explanatory. Final Flash, just broken. Awesome. Armor Reinforcements. Yeah.
Cool. And then obviously we got to talk about the SS2 Trunks and the Father and Son package and the Bulma. People run it at different ratios. You maxed it out completely.
I think for the deck to be consistent, it has to be maxed out. The Bulma is kind of it's your choice. You kind of do whatever you want with it, but I felt 3 Bulma you saw it when you needed it. It's really important, so you can just dig through the deck, kind of get your 3 drops going, get your EX Evolves going. And sometimes you just brick on the 1 drops, which is very rare. I mean, for me it's 9 out of 10 games, but if you get that Bulma, it's pretty much 11 cards. Pretty much see it as if there's 11 cards that you need to start with. One of them, at least one out of 11. But the package stuff is great. The 3-drop Trunks is just super annoying for people. The first card they bring out has to be rest. It's barrier blocker. And then it's just it's just EX Evolves, which is the active mode if it's in rest mode, which is actually huge. And then it just the first card they play has to get switched to rest mode, whether it's Unison or battle card. So it's just really broken. It's hard to get around.
Crazy. Yeah, I see that. I played against you and I'm like, man, this is annoying.
I mean, in the X Factor, why I felt it's better than Icarus and such was because just being able to get through barrier with the Vegeta as well. If you got people playing Slug, you got people playing a lot of things with barrier, you can just kind of just get rid of it and get it off the field for cheap. So I think the package itself is pretty strong.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna go to the next row, which is the SS Trunks. I can't even read that because it's so bright with yellow. the Unison, and then the Mecha Frieza Robotic Riposte, Turles, and Son Goku Steadfast Assistance. So one thing I want to ask you, because I know you always like playing one-ofs, and some of these cards were those one-ofs before I used to see you play, and why'd you put 3? That one tripped me out, which was the Trunks, the SS Trunks at 3.
That Unison is just broken, man. It's 20k dual attack. Everybody pretty much knows what it does, but it's just really important in a lot of matchups. Whether it be KP, the mirror match, Hatch, whatever you play against. It's just really important. It's one of your main removal cards. It gets around riposte in the mirror match, so you can kind of just attack through it, apply a lot of pressure, and also has a board wipe ability as you know. But 3 just felt like it was super important. I had it at 2 at first, to be honest, and then I just bumped it up to 1 just because it was. I needed to see the cards, so.
Gotcha.
And as far as the Turles and the Goku Steadfast and such, the Turles, I felt I needed the Turles at 3. Just it was really important against the Sin matchup and such, just to have the removal, just to get it off the board. Just tapping it down with Power of a Super Saiyan or the other cards I'm running in here. Or if you need a Forbidden Power or something, you can switch it as well.
Okay.
Riposte, To be honest, Riposte. It should have been at 4. I could only find my 3. I didn't know where my 4th one went.
Oh wow.
So I had to run 3. That card's obviously just really broken. It's 1 cost, floodgate. So it's that I would definitely play at 4. Yeah, I had it at 3 in the BO1 version of it because everybody was mainboarding like the Vegeta that just really hated on it, or like cards just to counteract it, Super Command, such. So I felt 3 was fine because I was finding myself not even using it. Steadfast Assistance, it's lost a little bit of value since like Nationals back in the the Icarus kind of format. It is good in certain matchups, so I felt 2 was fine just to see it. You could run it at 3 if you want. I really don't think you need it. So that's the reason why I'm running those. The rest of them are just kind of a couple, just kind of 1 cost cards that I'm playing in here. Like I was trying out the Nova Shenron at 1.
I was about to talk about that next. Like, why we started to see the one of the Brian special in here.
Yeah.
What does Nova Shenron do, and why do you run it?
So Nova Shenron is essentially a power of a Super Saiyan that costs 1. The reason why I play it is just because a lot of like unison based decks, it's very strong, and it's also just there was times when people were just trying to barrage me with attacks, and I was able to just be like, okay, use my real power of a Super Saiyan. Tap something down, draw a card, pay 1, tap Nova, rest something else. And the good thing about it is it rests Unison as well. So like if I'm playing the mirror match and they swing out of order or anything like that, I can just tap the Unison down. Or if I'm on the offense, I can tap down like a Boo Unison to try to get past the blocker and try to go for game.
Gotcha.
It also bursts 1, which is kind of cool because this deck doesn't build the drop as fast as you want it to. So the burst 1, believe it or not, is actually kind of relevant, just so it can get you to your secret identity and what you need to overrun.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I liked it. It did well for me over the weekend.
Yeah, and you already touched base on the Realm of the Gods, and then in Pan, why do you play the Pan SCR, man?
I mean, Pan SCR is probably just universally the best secret rare in the game, as of right now. It's just. It lets you extend your turns. You can just be really confident against a lot of decks and even tap out. I wouldn't do it against yellow because they'll just cooler it. But play it smart. It can also just win you games if you're trying to go aggro. I think it's just the best secret rare. And Bergamo, you have to run it at 1 just because it's limited. And then Basil, a lot of people are running it like at 2 or 3. I just don't see it. I know back in Mecha it was great, but Basil, it has its moments. Like there are, like I would just save it for like late game when I really needed to kind of pressure my opponent, and just kind of try to end that turn. So I felt 1 was fine, just to kind of see it. And then obviously the single Champa or the hidden power Isekai. It is hidden power Isekai. Make sure you call it, guys.
You gotta call it. Gotta call that double strike, or they're gonna be like, nope, you didn't call it. And then one thing I want to talk about is actually your 2 black cards, which is Poutine Dark Sorcerer at 2 and Secret Identity Masain. I remember you used to run this at 1 each at one point, and now you bumped them up to 2. How come?
Secret Identity is at 2 mainly for the King Piccolo matchup.
Gotcha.
You just pretty much need to see Masain just to kind of get them off the board. You just can't let them apply all that pressure to you. And then Poutine, it just combos so well with the Trunks, the 3-drop barrier one, because I mean, it's like they play if you play against Gogeta Xeno, it's kind of huge because it's like they play something, you rest it with Trunks, it triggers Poutine comes out. They try to play something else, you rest it with Poutine. Like it kind of it's just really annoying, and it makes them have to get over hurdle over a lot of things.
Okay, and then now that we talked about all that, I want to talk about the sideboard, because your sideboard is always crazy to me. And so you have Tyrannical Blow, Koitsukai, Max Power, and it's not the 1 specials now. I see a lot of 2s of everything here.
Yeah, I think I only played a 1 of in the sideboard, which was my Bardock against Fate. Not against Fate, Unleashed.
So just run it by me real quick. Like, why did you side the cards you sided here? Like, for what matchups were you like really worried about and stuff like that?
Most of my sideboard was kind of focused on like against aggro, against Gogeta Xeno, and and such like that. That's why I sideboarded the 2 Nimbus. It was just an additional kind of floodgate just for that particular deck. Again, because you can't really rely on your riposte because they just Vegeta the riposte, or they play Broly Crown or whatever it may be. So it's just something else to kind of just floodgate. Tyrannical Blow is actually really good against the mirror match. It's great against U7. It's good in a lot of matchups actually. Just being able to shut down the card coming out, but that's not the most important part of it. The most important part is actually shutting down the unison. So like, if you're playing against U7 and you play a battle card and they play Goku or they play Videl or something, you can just negate it, and then you can negate the Jiren. So once you shut down the Jiren for the turn, it's kind of like your push turn right there. So you're just going to go in after that. Gotcha. So Tyrannical Blow is just kind of huge. The mirror match, it shuts down Riposte and such. Yeah, so Tyrannical Blow was huge. Unison of Fury, Vegeta. I'm supposed to run it at 3. I saw it pretty much all the time at 2. It's mainly for Gogeta Xeno. It's also great against U7. Again, you drop it on your turn 4 if you go first, or your opponent's, or if your turn 3 if they're going first, and you just neg 1. They can't swing with their bombs. It's just a way to get you further into the game. Gogeta Xeno, obviously, they can't attack with pretty much their whole deck unless they go the weenie route. No. So, so that's why I played that. Max Power is pretty much solely there for Sin. I mean, if there's other decks that go tall, like maybe Green Gotenks or like, whatever it may be, you can also sideboard it. But it's pretty much just for the Sin matchup to get that 9-drop off the board if they drop it early.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Koitsukai, it's just broken right now in the whole format itself.
I think it's a good card. I think that might be the next card to get banned. I don't know. I'm just saying. I've been saying that for
Koitsukai is snap, man. Koitsukai is a snap card. It's great against the mirror. It's great against pretty much anything that runs floodgates or anything that just, it would have helped me out a lot against my finals opponent, but it's just he just knows the matchup really well. He played around it. But cool. Yeah, Koitsukai is just it's a really strong card. I sideboarded the 2 Krillins. Just because if I played against Invoker, you need a Self Awakener to kind of get you down to 4 life.
Gotcha.
While the deck does awaken to 6, you need to get yourself down to 4 so your super combos are live and you can just start applying a lot more pressure. So I felt Krillin was really big because if you can at least draw 1 Krillin, your army reinforcements will take care of the rest, get you to 4, and then you're pretty much there. So that was pretty much the only matchup where if I played against something really slow that wasn't really attacking me, I would also throw it in there. Okay. Yeah, and the 1 Bardock, fully unleashed, that's again just mostly for Sin.
Yeah, Sin is pretty nasty deck.
Yeah, Sin's pretty sick, man. It's bringing out those 9-drops early can really slow down this deck in particular. So you have to just pretty much get them off the board as fast as possible. Gotcha. Fortunately, we play Final Flash and everything in the main board, so we can kind of get around it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much the sideboard, man.
Awesome. And what were your matchups like, man? Like, what did you go up against in this San Diego event?
I didn't play a single red U7 deck, which was interesting. That was actually the deck I wanted to play against, which I didn't get a chance to. But round 1, I played against the mirror match. Round 2, I sat there and I played against. Round 1 was actually against a buddy of mine, my buddy Big B. Round 2, I believe, was another mirror match as well. I played 2 mirror matches early. I know that for a fact. Oh, and then I played against. I thought I was gonna lose, man. I played against Cooler Mill, and that's just a horrible matchup for me. Like, I was like, I draw a lot of cards. I pretty much what I was doing is I was swinging with leader, and I was just like failing to search a lot because I just didn't want to draw, and it was just it was super annoying. But it was a close game. Went to game 3. Probably one of my tougher matches of the day. So I played that. Round 4, I played against one of my buddies, Andres Rizzo. He's an SD local. Great player. I've been cool for years, man. So it's he was playing blue Bojack.
Oh, cool.
Which that was one of my matches that were on stream.
Oh, cool.
That matchup is just kind of unfair. Yellow Trunks just does too much kind of against it. So okay. That was that. Round 5, I played against. Who was it? Round 5. I want to say it was Gogeta Xeno. It was one of my local friends over here, Andy. He was playing GX. That was another really tough match. Went to game 3. Thankfully I had Pan game 1, got me to the next turn. I was able to kind of clap back on that. Round 6, I played against Sin Shenron. Played Sin Shenron round 6. Was able to get past that matchup. Round 7 was against Marcus. Everybody, he had the crazy deck of the weekend.
Oh yeah, so it was that Crimson Saiyan deck. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, that Crimson Saiyan was sick, man. So I played against Marcus round 7. It was a good match. It's just just yellow just kind of naturally does very well against blue. I guess unless you're playing Android 16, it does very well against blue.
Cool.
And then the finals, I played against Jared. I lost that matchup, Android 16. it was tough. It's kind of one of those matchups you just wish you had the hand control sideboard, but I didn't have it. So it was just really, really tough, really grindy. And, shout out to him for pulling that W out.
I mean, you killed it though, man. That was your only loss the entire event. You ran over pretty much every other deck from what you told me.
And, it was,
Yeah, and if you guys want to definitely follow this on Patreon, Brian definitely will give more detail of like how to play this deck against your certain matchups that might be your Achilles heel or just dominate.
No, definitely. We'll definitely go into depth on that. I can pretty much give you just a breakdown of every matchup. So Sweet. Go ahead and look out for that.
And any last minute or last shout outs you want to give out, man?
Yeah, man. Just shout out to the team. Shout out to Ultimate Guard, our sponsor. Shout out to all my local guys, 805 guys that play with me, on a consistent basis. And that's pretty much it, man.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian, for taking the time to do this awesome deck profile. And like you super players always say, y'all
stay super, baby.
Super.
Yeah.